हेलो एवरीवन, स्वागत है आपका आज के POTD के डे 55 में। तो देखते हैं आज का क्वेश्चन क्या है और शुरू करते हैं। ठीक है। तो अगर आप इस चैनल पे नए हैं यार तो प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब कर लो एंड हिट द बेल आइकन टू गेट द रेगुलर अपडेट्स ऑफ दिस चैनल। तो ठीक है यार, आज देखते हैं आज का क्वेश्चन क्या है। बैलेंस स्ट्रिंग। सो लेट्स ओपन दिस क्वेश्चन और आई कैन सी दैट फाइनली वी हैव गॉट अ क्वेश्चन विद इजी कैटेगरी। बहुत ज़रूरत है यार। बहुत दिन से मीडियम हार्ड क्वेश्चन, लाइक 2 दिन से हार्ड क्वेश्चन ही डाल रहे थे। ठीक है। तो लेकिन एक्यूरेसी इसकी 19.07 है, तो मतलब ये सिर्फ नाम का इजी है। इसके टेस्ट केसेस में बहुत फंसेंगे हम, लाइक वी नीड टू हैंडल माइन्यूट टेस्ट केसेस reading this accuracy thing here. So let's get to the question. Given an integer n, create a string using only lowercase letters from A to Z that follows the given rules. Okay, so there are several cases here. तो पढ़ते हैं उसको एक एक करके. So when n is even, use n by 2 characters from beginning A to Z and n by 2 characters from ending A to Z. ये तो आसान लग रहा है यार सही में. When n is greater than 26, continue the repeating instructions until the length of the string becomes n. अच्छा, मतलब अगर 26 है यार, तो अगर इसको डिवाइड करोगे आप n/2, दैट इज 13 कैरेक्टर्स। तो शुरुआत के 13 कैरेक्टर्स मतलब ए से लेके कहाँ तक होंगे? कोई टेस्ट केस उठा ले क्या? हाँ जी, मतलब शुरुआत के 13 कैरेक्टर्स होंगे यार, ऐसे मानते हैं। और अगर 26 है तो एंड शुरुआत के 13 कैरेक्टर्स ऐड कर दो, देन द रिमेनिंग 13 कैरेक्टर्स विल बी अपेंडेड इन द फर्स्ट 13 कैरेक्टर्स। सो इफ n इज गिवन 26, देन वी जस्ट हैव टू प्रिंट द कैरेक्टर्स A to Z। ये बात तो साफ है यार यहाँ पे, ठीक है। अब एन इज ऑड का पढ़ लेते हैं। कि ओके, इन्होंने और घुमा दिया वेन इज ऑड में यार। कि आप पहले तो कैलकुलेट द सम ऑफ द डिजिट्स एंड इफ दैट द sum of digits is even, then n/2 plus 1 characters from beginning and n-1/2 from last। ठीक है, थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा वर्क करा रहे हैं लोग। एंड इफ द sum of digits odd, then n-1/2 characters from beginning and n+1/2 characters from the ending। And when n is greater than 26, continue the instructions until the length of the string becomes n। ठीक है यार, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। तो मेरे को इसमें एक चीज़ तो सबसे पहले क्लियर हो रही है। उससे पहले टेस्ट केस देख लेते हैं। लेट्स से n इक्वल्स टू 21, नहीं हम 28 वाला देखेंगे, क्योंकि मैं जो आपको यहाँ दिखाना चाह रहा हूँ 28, राइट। सो अगर हमारे पास n इक्वल्स टू 26 होता, राइट, तो वी विल जस्ट प्रिंट फ्रॉम A to Z, है ना। क्योंकि अगर 26 को बाई 2 करोगे दैट गिव्स अस 13। सो 13 फर्स्ट 13 कैरेक्टर्स मे बी शायद A से L तक होते हैं, है ना। एंड द लास्ट 13 कैरेक्टर्स लेट्स से M to Z। तो A to Z तो प्रिंट हो गया यार। तो बचे 28 minus 26, that gives us 2, right? So 2 is still an even number, and if we divide 2 by 2, that gives 1। So one character from the beginning, that gives us as A, and the one character from the last, that gives us as Z। ठीक है यार, ये टेस्ट केस ड्राई रन तो हो गया है। इसको फिर भी एक बार पेंट में ले चल के समझते हैं कैसे हो रहा है। ओके, सो वी आर हियर। तो हमने इस चीज़ को तो ड्राई रन कर लिया यार। वन सेक, लेट्स टेक द येलो कलर। तो हमने इस चीज़ को ड्राई रन कर लिया। व्हेन n इज इक्वल्स टू 26, तो हमें कुछ नहीं करना है यार, 8 से Z प्रिंट कर देना है। एंड इफ n इज ग्रेटर देन 26, लेट्स से द इट वाज 8, राइट, 28, राइट। तो हमें तो निकालना है यार कि कितनी टाइम 26 इसमें प्रेजेंट है, राइट। तो हम कैसे निकाल सकते हैं? 28/26 कर लेते हैं, तो हमें 1 आ जाएगा। एंड वी नीड द कैरेक्टर, नाउ वी नीड द अपडेटेड नंबर एज 2, राइट। जिसके लिए हमारा क्या, इसे हम 2 स्ट्रिंग में डिवाइड कर रहे थे, राइट। लेट्स से ये R है, so we will dividing R by 2, that gives us 1 and 1। So one character from the beginning, one character from the last, that gives us Z, है ना। And this was printing what, A to Z, right। And since it was one time, तो हमारा आउटपुट हो गया था A to Z and this A and Z। देखो यही है आउटपुट में भी। तो ठीक है यार, तो 28 से how we can derive कि how many times we have to add full number of characters। So we can just divide it by n by 26, and as soon as the number we get, that means that we have to repeat all characters this many times, right? And how we can get 2 from 28? Then I think we can do n percent 26, so that gives us remainder as 2। तो ठीक है यार। तो until this the point is clear। ओके, सो n इक्वल टू 21 के लिए एक बार ड्राई रन करके देख लेते हैं। सो 21 जो है वो लेस देन व्हाट 26 है, सो इट विल बी n by 26 विल गिव अस 0, राइट। तो फॉर द ऑड नंबर्स यार हमारे पास कुछ कुछ केसेस थे, राइट। हमें पहले तो एसओडी निकालना है, राइट। एसओडी क्या है हमारे पास? 2 + 1 3। एक तो ऑड वाला केस है, एक हमारे पास इवन वाला केस है। ऑड वाले केस में हमें क्या क्या रिटर्न कराना था? लेट्स सी। कहाँ गया यार? तो okay, so if n is odd, then n minus 1 by 2 and n plus 1 by 2 from last. Okay, so if n is odd, then n minus 1 by 2 from beginning and n plus 1 by 2 from last. And here it's the vice versa, n plus 1 by 2 from beginning, n minus 1 by 2 from last, right? तो ठीक है यार। ओके, तो ठीक है यार। सो इस केस में मैं थोड़ा कलर चेंज कर लेता हूँ यार, इसको ड्राइंग करना ज़रूरी है एक बार। So n was what? N was here 21, right? So 21 minus 1 by 2, that is 20 by 2, that gives us 10, right? And this gives us 11. ठीक है यार, तो एक बार A, B, C, D, E, F, H, I, J, K, L, M, O, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z। आप लोग सोच रहे हो यार इतना पढ़ के भी ABCD लिख रहे हैं तो ठीक है, उससे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। तो हमें वन फॉर दिस 10 वी हैव टू टेक फर्स्ट 10 कैरेक्टर्स, तो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10। तो A to J हमारा फर्स्ट हो गया, एंड वी हैव टू टेक द 11 कैरेक्टर्स फ्रॉम लास्ट, सो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, सो इधर। तो मतलब A to J होगा हमारा आंसर में। A to J आई कैन सी इन दिस आंसर, एंड P to Z दिस विल बी इन आवर आंसर। ठीक है यार, तो वेरीफाई हो चुका है। ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है। सो ओके, सो व्हाट द स्टेप्स वी नीड टू इंक्लूड इन अ कोड। तो सबसे पहले तो यार step 1, if we talk about the step 1, since the return type is string, right? Since the return type is string, then we'll make a string builder, let's say answer, है ना? And we'll make one more string builder which will include all characters, right? That will be all characters will be from A to Z, right? And what we can do next, that we can uh, what we were doing, कि all how many, let's say ये count है ना, count of all character total times, let's say times लिख देता हूँ मैं, times ये कितनी बार हमें repeat करना है in a particular case. So if n was 28, what I was doing, that n by 26, and in this case it was giving 1, right? तो मैं यहाँ एक for loop या while loop चला लूँगा, है ना, कि for this count what, in answer dot append what, all characters, ठीक है यार। आई गॉट दिस पॉइंट। होप आपको ये बात समझ में आ रही है। तो ये हमारा हो गया, ये हो गया हमारा स्टेप 2। इसके बाद मैं क्या करूँगा, मेरे को एक इवन केस हैंडल करना होगा, एंड आई हैव टू हैंडल द ऑड केस। सो लेट्स जंप टू स्टेप 4। सो इफ n is what, even, right? If n is even, then what I have to do, what I have to do, let's look into this, n by 2 from beginning and n by 2 from last, ठीक है यार। so it's n by 2 from beginning, n by 2 from last। तो हम इसका कोड कैसे लिख सकते हैं यार? ये तो बड़ा सिंपल है कि फॉर लूप चला देंगे फॉर i इक्वल्स टू 0 टू i लेस देन इक्वल्स टू n by 2। ये तो बड़ा सिंपल है। ओके, सो इट विल बी एक्चुअली n by 2 और समथिंग एल्स। Now n is updated. So if when n was 28, then it was updated to 2, right? For the 26 divided by 26, and we just left with the number 2. So we have to make something an integer, let's say r, that will be equals to n percent 2. So it's actually not n by 2, it will be like 1 to less than r by 2 and I plus plus, right? And we will just append the characters, and there will be one more for loop for I equals to, we need from the last, right? So we will do like 26 minus r by 2, and what, I less than 26 I plus plus। yes, I am definitely correct in this thing। ठीक है यार, दिस विल बी स्टेप 4। स्टेप 5 होगा हमारा सिमिलर थिंग ऑड के लिए, राइट? ऑड के लिए हमें पहले एसओडी निकालना होगा। एसओडी सम ऑफ डिजिट्स, वो अगर इवन है देन वी हैव टू हैंडल सम केस, एंड इफ दिस इज ऑड देन वी हैव टू हैंडल सम केस, राइट? So for even what it was, let me write. For even, it was r plus 1 by 2 first beginning, and r minus 1 by 2 from last. And it was r minus 1 by 2 from beginning and r plus 1 by 2 from last. ठीक है यार, let's code it. We have discussed all these steps. Let's code it now. So we need two string builder here, one which has the final answer and one which has the all characters, right? तो ठीक है, करते हैं इसको कोड। यार 2 नंबर का क्वेश्चन यार डाल के इन्होंने इतना लेंदी कर दिया है ना। ओके, that should not be an issue। So let's make a string builder and answer is equals to new string builder, and we need a string which actually has all the characters, that is from A to Z, right? So let's build one more string builder, and that goes, let's all characters, name it as all characters, new string builder, right? So in this all character, let's include all the characters in it. So for int I equals to 0, I less than 26, I plus plus. And what I'm gonna do is all character dot append what, we have to typecast it char, and we have to typecast what, a plus I. I hope you can understand this thing. A is pointing to the eighth character, I is pointing to the number 0, right? So what are we doing? Instead of taking the integer value, we are typecasting it to char value, which behind the scenes using the ASCII values, right? Okay, so we have this all characters which actually has the string A to Z, which actually has the characters from A to Z. So how many times do we need to include all characters? So let's make a variable all character times. This will denote the number of times we need to include the all characters in our answer string, and that will be calculated by n by 26, right? And similarly, int r, the new number that which we have to uh, apply these all test cases, that n is odd and n is even. So that will be n percent 26. Right. So let's append the all characters times which we have calculated. So we can run a while loop for that. All character times minus minus greater than 0. Let's do that increment and condition operator at the same time. Then what I can write here is answer dot append all character. It seems nice to, good to me. So how many steps are completed till yet? Step 2 is completed. Now we have to go for step 3, right? So step 2, this mark as step 2, and this will come as step 3. So it was n, if n percent 2 is equals to 0, that is the even case. In the even case, we just have to consider the characters, the n by 2 characters from the first and n by 2 characters from the last. But since we have taken, we have updated our n number to this r, right? Because if n was greater than 26, then we just include all character times. So our updated value of n will be equals to r, right? That gives us the modulo of 26. So let's run a loop for int I equals to 0. So I less than what, r by 2, I plus plus. And one more loop for to include the characters from the last. So for I equals to 26 minus r by 2, right? It should be less than 26 and I plus plus. Yeah, seems good to me. So for this for loop, we have to append in the answer dot append, right? I'll write the same thing. I'll copy it from here. And same thing goes for this for loop. Okay, so we have handled the case where n was equals to odd number. So that goes to our step 4, which handles when the number is odd. For the number is odd, then we have to first calculate sum of digits, right? So let's make a variable sum of digits is equals to 0, and let's store the actual number into a temp variable because we have to decrement it by 10, right? And I'll just write the snippet to calculate the sum of the digits. So while t is greater than equals to 0, what we have to do, we have to take the last number, and that can be calculated by using the modulo sum of digit plus equals to what, t equals to what, t percent 10, and we have to decrement now the original value by 10, division by 10. So it's done. So we have found SOD. So now next constraint was, is sum of digits is even or odd, right? So let's calculate for sum of digits is even, right? So what we have to do here, if it's even, then we have to take what, Where is even? N plus 1 by 2 from start, right? So let's copy paste this for loop and we'll just do some manipulation there. So what I was supposed to take from n plus 1 by 2, right? So it will be r plus 1 by 2. R is nothing but the remaining characters after the 26 multiple gets over, right? ठीक है. 26 minus r minus 1 by 2. Hmm. That seems pretty good to me. And in the else case, we'll again use these two for loops. We'll just update the parameters as required in the condition. So it says the first characters, if n is odd, this case is of order, right? At some SOD is odd. So if it's odd, then it's saying that you have to take n plus 1 by 2 from beginning, right? So we'll take r minus 1 by 2 from beginning and r plus 1 by 2 from last, right? Okay, so we are near the completion of our code. At last, we just have to return the answer, right? So return answer. Since it's a string builder, we have to use this function toString. Okay, it seems correct to me, everything. Let me just recheck once. Okay, everything seems correct. एक बार चेक कर लेते, कोई टेक्निकल एरर ना आ जाए. So let's compile and run. तो यार सही में बहुत इजी क्वेश्चन था, बट इन्होंने इतने सारे केसेस डाल के कोड को लंबा कर दिया. So we are having this variable name wrong mentioned. Okay, fantastic. तो हमारा यार फॉर n equals to 21 हमारा सक्सेसफुली कोड रन कर गया, राइट? So let's check it, let's verify it for 28. 28. If it runs successfully, then obviously it will, because we have taken care of all the constraint. So fantastic. So let's just hit the submit button. Okay, so the test case has been successfully passed. तो हमारा क्वेश्चन का आंसर सबमिट हो गया यार. तो लेट मी गिव यू अ क्विक वॉक थ्रू. हमने क्या देखा कि n जो है वो ग्रेटर देन इक्वल टू 26 भी हो सकता है, एंड इट वाज रिटन हियर कि n इज ग्रेटर देन 26, देन कंटिन्यू द रिपीटिंग इंस्ट्रक्शन. एंड सिंस n was 26, we knew that we have to divide into two parts, 13 from the first, 13 from the last. So we just maintain, instead of doing all that hard work, we just maintain a string builder of all characters which has the characters from A to Z, right? And we calculated that how many times we need to include all the characters. That gives us with the help of n by 26, right? So we included that many times all characters in our answer string, and rest of the thing is like easy. यार जो constraint में दे रखा था, whatever it was mentioned in the constraint, we just followed that step. If it was even, we followed the steps, two steps. If it was odd, then it was saying, the question was saying to calculate the sum of digits, we did it. And if sum of digits is even, then we followed the next two cases, and if it's odd, then we followed these next two cases. Okay, and at the last we just return the answer as toString, using the toString method, since we were using string builder. So what's the time complexity of the code? I am using O of 26 times here, so nothing is there. Okay, I'm calculating sum of the digits, so that gives us as O of n, right? I'm using O of n here. Also, rest is O of 1, O of 1. So calculating sum of the digits is going O of n, and rest of the things I guess is O of 1. We are running for loop multiple times, right? 0 to r by 2, 0 to r by 2. So that's also giving our time complexity as n by 2, right? Hmm. That actually giving us the time complexity of 26 by 2. That is also constant, right? That is also constant, yes. So just because of this, that we are finding the sum of the digits, that's giving us the overhead of O of n. Rest all the for loop, everything is running in maximum complexity of O of 26. So if we talk about the space complexity, so let me just write time complexity is O of n. And if we talk about the space complexity, it is O of n, right? Because we have used the string builder to store all the strings. एंड व्हाई आई हैव यूज्ड स्ट्रिंग बिल्डर, ये मैं बात बहुत बार बता चुका हूँ. इफ यू यूज्ड एम्प्टी स्ट्रिंग, then that gives the time complexity of O of n while appending a new character. But if you use string builder, that gives us O of 1. So that's it for this video, yeah. Uh, Okay, so there are a few last things that this is my GitHub repository where all the source code gets submitted. You can star and fork this repository to get help with the source code as well as the syllabus mentioned down in the README. And that's it. मिलते हैं कल के POT Street के डे 56 में. तब तक के लिए आप अपना बाय बाय, टेक केयर, अपना ख्याल रखो और बस पढ़ते रहो यार.